and they beat a good Marquette team handedly the other day after getting down 5 goals. So this is going to be a battle.
Opening faceoff is into the Pioneers offensive end, scooped up briefly by Denver, then popped out of the stick of the Pioneers' AJ Mercurio. It is still loose and rolling around, and it is finally scooped up by Casey Wilson, who will race it to the far side of the field. Denver going left to right here under the season for the junior from Garden City, New York, and St. John's with the first tally and a 1-0 lead, but a clean face-off win for Alec Stathakis. We'll race this thing from the defensive end, a backside win, and into the offensive end of the field for the Pioneers as Denver looks for the equalizer here in the upcoming 8th minute of this game. In toward the goal and crossing in toward the crease from the far side wing, and a nice job by Noah Manning to find the back of the net. That thing, we could hear it hit the post, is now contact, and Alex Stathakis lost his stick, but the whistle's going to go against Denver off of the face-off. So it'll be a face-off victory for St. John's as Jordan Hayes will pick it up and fling it to Sean Duffy.
It's a tough fight.
And it looked like a golf swing almost, how he dropped down that angle and just whipped it right by Kyle Munson. And Denver with its first lead of the day. There's a really good flow to this game here in the early going on both sides. And another face-off violation against Alec Stathakis, and another win there for Dane Armstrong, the senior out of Hardyston, New Jersey.
Too early for Stath to have 2 violations. You know, after 3, it's a man down, and that can be a long time. 3-year-olds, which is kind of fun, but it turned out well, and we're off and running.
What can you tell us about your life experience? Tell us about your resume. I would imagine those conversations a little strange with like fresh college graduates for you.
Yeah. You know what the key thing I told them that really helped, I think, was that because there's a lot of guys on the team that I've coached against.
Right.
And
a version of that shot, I mean, that was every muscle fiber into the back end of that shot from Mick Kelly as he powers one home for Denver, his 11th goal of the season. And Joshua Carlson on the assist, giving Denver a 4-1 lead. And now really one of the first battles that we've seen at the faceoff dot today. We've had some violations and some quick faceoff wins, and the Pioneers scrambling after a loose ball into the offensive end. It's briefly picked up there by Harry Noel, and Harry now loses it out toward midfield. Stathakis is able to get to it, and he flings it toward the right wing for the long stick of AJ Mercurio. Nice pass into the box, knocked out of the stick of Casey Wilson, and St. John's will take it back.
See, that's when momentum can hurt you. You know, had that been 2 goals ago, there's no way AJ makes that pass. He takes a little bit of a chance, throwing to.
It's all right, I called him Dan Anderson earlier because I thought I saw number 27 out there instead of 23. Moments after I said, you can recognize Richie Connell anywhere because he's a giant. The 6'5", 220 grad student out of Evergreen, and now another face-off win for St. John's. Some good work early on by Dane Armstrong, but this time has the ball checked out of his stick and out of bounds.
Good hustle play by Chris Caldwell right there. He's really fast, gives you a different look off the wings than AJ Mercurio, who's Avery start putting the ball on goal.
That is goal number 6 of the season for Stephen Avery. The zone late in a quarter, what's the thought process behind using it in that moment?
The process is that, especially when you play against well-coached teams like Denver is, what happens is you think that the other team's offensive coordinator is going to then tell them to pull it out, put it into your zone offense, get everybody set, and then you got a bunch of passes, and bang, the clock's done.
A goal and an assist. But man, you can see on Pioneer Vision at DenverPioneers.com, it is a beautiful night here in the Mile High City. And it's kind of funny, Coach, we were talking before this game, as there's a trip off of the face-off. It's going to be Denver ball. But it's kind of a gamble, especially in the early weeks of April, to schedule a night game. Because, I mean, we've had games.
Maybe that's not something that St. John's planned for, but I think it's more of the bounce in the steps of the Pioneers, and I'm happy to see that.
Coach, to start this season, there were 6 straight games with double-digit goals for Denver. Since then, Pioneers have scored 9, 7, and 9, and they've gotten wins in 2 out of those 3, but the offense just looks a lot more confident due to, you know, some of the stuff you're talking about, some positional changes between Carlson putting that one in and able to avoid the crease, and Cody Malowski's goal a moment ago where he kind of dunked a shot in and somehow avoided the crease from being essentially right on the doorstep, and now a scramble for a loose ball off of the faceoff. It's still loose across midfield and finally scraped in by Dane Anderson. There is the Pioneer sophomore out of Syracuse, New York, feeding, and a shot there from long range is turned aside as AJ Mercurio put that one off of Kyle Munson. Munson started this game pretty strong, had some good saves in the first few minutes, but since then, Denver's been shooting at a really to them that I don't know if they actually are any faster in night games, but they look faster in night games. There's just a different flow to night games. It's something about the energy of playing under the lights seems to bring out the best. And Denver right now with a 9-1 lead with 11:10 to go here before halftime. The Pioneers have 9 goals on 13 shots on goal. And another faceoff win. And racing in, Casey Wilson now fed down low off the stick of Michael Lampert, who's able to pick it up.
Get a goal.
This is a wild start to this game for Denver. I mean, the Pioneers right now out shooting St. John's 17-7, but Denver has over 3 times as many goals as St. John's has shots on goal. The Pioneers with 10 goals on 14 shots on goal. St. John's only with 3 total shots on cage so far in this one, and Denver's going to come away with another face-off win, but it was all the way back into Malcolm Kleben's stick, so now a tricky clear potentially upcoming here for the Pioneers. Dane Anderson able to weave around one man, now just jukes his way across midfield, and tricky, I guess not. Your coaching career, Denver with 30 10-goal runs. This is the Pioneers' second of this season under head coach Matt Brown. And that run now comes to a stop at exactly 10, but a 10-2 lead for Denver. Now just trying to get right back to it off another face-off. Will head off, and Denver's closed D group back to the starting 3.
I'm sure Coach Gallant will have a couple of teaching points for him very quickly.
Well, and one thing I was going to say a moment ago is we've got the 3rd face-off violation of the day on Alec Stathakis, so it's a minor penalty that will go against Denver now. It was Cody Malowski with 10-11 to go in the second. So Denver's been in a little bit of a lull offensively, and St. John's with the opening face-off win will take the ball from right to left here in this second half. But the ball immediately thrown across midfield and turned over by the Red Storm, and Denver will take it the other way. Moving quickly, nice pass down low. JJ Silstrop rifles and scores, and Denver 22 seconds into the 3rd has its first goal of the second half.
Really important goal there, even though it came from a St. John's mistake. Still important that the guys, played smart. Cody Malowski got the ball off the ground on the over and back, quickly inbounded it to Jake Edgar, who was flying up the field. He finds JJ Silstrop, who's been a little quiet tonight, but due to the fact that the midfielder just scored all the goals. So good start for the Pioneers.
20th goal of the season for JJ Silstrop. That is his 2nd point of the night, assisted on a goal earlier, and Denver with an 8-goal lead reinstated now at 11-3, and the faceoff coming off of it will turn into a St. John's faceoff win, but only possessed briefly there by Ryder Ochoa before the Pioneers were able to take it away. And a nice job by Alec Stathakis next week, being able to come out and play on fire to start the second half addresses what you're talking about, where you can't just go into the 3rd thinking, all right, we got a 7-goal lead, we're sitting fine.
No doubt, and that's something. Either something was said in the locker room, or the guys. This is an experienced team that. It's an experienced team that's been in all these situations before, and you prevent that from happening again.
So back for another face-off we go. Pioneer fans, get fuel plus the food, snacks, drinks you need at the DU Conoco University in Asbury, now selling beer and wine as well. Visit duconocos.com today. Another face-off win, briefly controlled by the Red Storm, then popped up and lost and taken right back. And with 11:45 remaining, St. John's gets it over midfield.
John's had numbers there for a second.
Yeah,
still do.
To go against Binghamton, and he has grabbed a bigger role for this team ever since. And with 6:57 remaining, ball barely moved from the face-off dot there in the scramble between the 2 specialists, and now a loose ball bouncing and scraped in by the Pioneers as across the field. JJ Silstrop a shot from point-blank range, and I don't know if that got a piece of the stick of Munson, but it's turned away. Man, Silstrop, I mean, he was right on top of Munson, and actually Kyle Munson had kind of dropped down, and it looked like might have reached up and just deflected that shot at the last second, back in a 9-goal margin.
As you said, Pioneers are go man up for the first time tonight. They haven't had a lot of man up chances. Even last week against Villanova, I think there was only one. And so Let's see if we can get an easy face-off here from Stath to get our man up, get the Pioneers man-up team on the field.
Yeah, big face-off here as Alec Stathakis scrambling for a loose ball, and he's going to scrape it into his stick on the defensive end, and now racing up midfield, flings it ahead and hooks up with Casey Wilson. Wilson into the box, feeds it. Noah Manning rifles and scores, and that takes all of 16 seconds off of the penalty, and the Pioneers cash it in to make it a 9-goal game at 14-5.
That'll go as a man-up goal, and it really was just off the face-off. Casey made a great look to Noah, and just a heck of a shot there.
Yeah, that's the type of sequence that would have probably resulted in a goal, man up or not. That's great execution by Denver, and St. John's has really struggled to slow down opposing teams on man up chances. That is now 15 for 28 allowed by the Red Storm this season, and Denver's lead just as quick as it was down to Spur. St. John's has really struggled to slow down opposing teams on man up chances. That is now 15 for 28 allowed by the Red Storm this season, and Denver's lead just as quick as it was down to 7 is right back up to 9 now at 14-5. 4:30 to go. Stathakis able to win this one, and he gets it over to AJ Mercurio, races down the field, looking for somebody to get this to. Kind of threw out his hand like, hey, can somebody get open for me? As now he deals it back to Stathakis and across the field toward the far sideline into the waiting stand. With 92 seconds to go here in the third, face-off upcoming as Alec Stathakis goes to work against Dane Armstrong again. These two have been going at it all night. Stathakis with 13 wins in the first 22 face-offs of the night. And like two mechanics trying to wrench something from opposite sides. They've got the ball pinned underneath, and nobody's letting anything get free here. Still down. I mean, this ball is still right at the center dot on the midfield stripe. Fans getting into it now. A very long scramble for the Clamp here, and with 55 seconds left, I was wondering if maybe we just see the third quarter clock run out on that fight for the face-off. Ball is now finally free, and Denver is able to collect it. Cody Malowski does it on a bouncing ball just inside the box, and the Pioneers can play for a final shot here in the third. He had to get out. Like, you were around for 8 months. Was there a point where she was like, you got to get a job again?
At some point, she's starting to roll her eyes and at my act, and so being away a little bit won't hurt her, that's for sure.
I've only been married 6 months. I'm already getting the eye rolls all the time. Alex Stathakis a face-off win and a shot right off of it, and a save made there by Kyle Munson. That was a quick shot, kind of trying to go low to high there for Alex Stathakis, but not a lot of an angle change, and St. John's will take it away.
Everybody covers somebody, and we'll worry about who's matched up with who later.
13-13 remaining, and a face-off violation before the whistle even blew there. That one's going to go against Adam Dembicki, who is on for St. John's to take that face-off. The fresh types of speed, and you said, Malik might be able to get him in a 100-yard dash, but in a 10 or 20-yard dash, there's nobody who's going to be faster than Mikey Lampert. And just what he's able to do, especially from that spot behind the goal, when he's able to work from that X spot, it's like anytime a defender glances away from him for a second, he finds a way to wheel his way out to one of the sides of the goal and get a shot away. He's just such a weapon in that manner for Denver, the senior from Wayland. Scores tonight for DU. 10 different players with at least a point. Jake Ettinger, the only points man without a goal tonight, but still 10-15 to go in this one. Another face-off win for Denver.
And so the penalty against St. John's was what they call locked in. So it was unsportsmanlike penalty. So it's a 1-minute penalty, but he's locked in for the whole time. So even if Denver scores like they just did, and now won the face-off like they just did, they're going back to
wrong tonight, but he tried to move before receiving a pass on that far sideline, and it ends up as a turnover for St. John's, the 13th of the night for the Red Storm, and goal number 21 for the Pioneers is on the ledger of J.J. Silstrop as Clark gets the assist.
Braden Lair just took the face-off for the Pioneers. It's the first time that Alec Stathakis hasn't, and I think maybe for the second face-off all year that Alex hasn't. And last year
2024.
Seeing a couple more subs now. Andrew Atchison, Willem Furr.
Lair back out for another face-off here for Denver. And a loose ball off of the face-off, picked up by St. John's. 3:40 to go here in the fourth. Pioneers 18, Red Storm 7. The Pioneers will make a change in goal.
Charlie Higgins comes in. Charlie's a senior, just one of the most wonderful young men I've ever met. He's a team guy first, great young man from Georgia, and a guy who deserves this time because he works so hard.
Face-off win for St. John's. There was nearly a loose ball. Jake Wright, a nice job to keep his